Hi, Linda Eze here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Linda Eze. I'm a registered nurse. I'm practicing in the UK. Already is 3 years. Like, it's surprising how time flies. Just it feels like yesterday, but it is already 3 years. I am so grateful that I've been able to go through this journey. It has been exciting, it has been challenging, it has been everything. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing my reflections, the feedback I've got so far from patients, from patient relatives, from colleagues. It has been awesome, and I'm going to be sharing this in this video. So if you're interested in knowing how it feels like working as a UK RN, this video is for you. Come on, let's go. So overall, the experience, the exposure has been something else, because compared to where I'm coming from, I'm a Nigerian and I practiced in Nigeria for 5 years before coming to the UK. So if I should compare the two, I mean the exposure is out of this world. I have learned a lot. I have been exposed to like the equipment that I've not been able to see and use in Nigeria. I've been exposed to all of those. We have everything that you need to look after patients, to carry patients, what you actually need when you are practicing as a nurse looking after patients. Most of those things are available, and I am so grateful that I'm able to use those things and get used to them. Usually you have updates programs, trainings, like free trainings. The library is there. You can always you are always booked for trainings, and you are paid when you go for these trainings. So, and the trainings are usually provided by the best people around, and it is really awesome to be exposed to this kind of environment. I will appreciate, and I'm really grateful for the skills so far, the training so far, and everything I have been able to acquire in these 3 years. It has really been awesome, mind-blowing. Exposure is something else, and the experience as well. I've been able to gain more confidence in my nursing practice. Okay, so in my first 6 months, I would say that it was really tough. I will not use another word but tough. It was tough and stressful. That is my own personal experience. The reason is because in the first month when we came here, when immediately we came, the day we arrived, we had our orientation, and in the next week, we arrived on Friday, there was orientation. In the next week, we started to prepare for our OSCE. The OSCE is the practical exam that you need to take when you arrive in the UK, so that you get your pay. So within 3 weeks of preparing for this OSCE, it was really every day we were practicing, and for me it was a lot of pressure because I have a little baby I left in Nigeria that I needed to really bring. So the pressure, the stress was really on me. I needed to pass this the first time, so we really prepared with everything we had. I even ignored everything that I'm in London and everything, so there was no visiting here and there. We were always going just from accommodation to the hospital, to practice, to study and everything. So within 1 month of coming, so grateful I got my UK RNP. And so the journey of working for the first 6 months in the world was really something else. I had to get used to talking to the patients. I had to get used to using the equipment. I had to get used to interacting with other healthcare professionals. And my word is a very heavy word. We use a heavy word is a word that's very busy. So my word is a very busy word. So each time I go to work, sometimes I'm really scared. I'm feel wow, because people that are supposed to support us then, my team, for those of us that came new staff, then they're also very busy. So it's really hard to get any of the senior nurses to even give you a hand. And then there are skills that you cannot perform on your own, that you need them to help you sign the IVs. They will need to do all of that, so you have to be chasing them around. You have to asking them, please come and do this for me and do that for me. So it was really very hard. I really had to make a drastic decision. That first 6 months, I had to say, oh, if this is how nursing is, I really really have to think about, I can't be doing this like all my life if this is how working in the UK is really. So before I started moving to other world, to see that the world is just peculiar to that world, like other worlds, it's manageable. So in that first 6 months, I said, oh, I had to start studying for NCLEX. I had to like start studying for NCLEX just to have an option. Like, if this is how this is, then I have to like have other options. So that's that for the first 6 months. And since then, after the first 6 months, it started getting better. Even though it is still busy, I was able to like know how to plan myself. I now got used to how to do things myself, got the necessary trainings and everything, so I don't have to like start asking people and everything. So it helped me to start being on top of the game. Even though it's stressful, I still know how, it's not like too overwhelming again for me. So I have been in that world, and I stayed in that world. I learned what I was supposed to learn, and I continued in that world. And I can say that it has been okay. It has been okay. So my advice for any new person is that it's going to be okay, because I found like some people come and they are experiencing the same thing. My message to you is that it's going to be okay if you just like continue to push through it. I remember I like, you know, yeah, it's gonna be okay. Overall, it gets better. It's another one is the salary. In the beginning, it's going to really really be surprising, because it will be like you're not going to be able to cope with the salary. Like the first 6 months, the first year, they'll be deducting, like if they paid anything for you while you're coming from the country, they were like deducting. And sometimes they deduct so much. I'll be like, don't these people think, don't they know that I am in London, I have family and everything? Why would they take so much from my salary, leaving like 1,500? You know, I mean, if you pay your rent, what will be remaining will be like 200, 300. I mean, you know, it was almost, it's not just me, many of us complained at that time. They should be thinking, you know, why did they do this? But yeah, it gets better. Like when they eventually finish deducting whatever they need to deduct from your salary, the salary increases. Even if you don't move to band 6 or band 7, the salary increases, and you get used to the environment. You save a little bit, and you see yourself getting more relaxed. Especially if you're able to plan yourself very well. You don't start going to holidays. If you don't follow people that have been here for a while, they have already saved and everything. You don't follow them to go from one holiday to the other. You're going to be okay. Like after 1 year, 2 years, you start having something in your pocket, and the stress and the whole pressure will reduce drastically. So salary wise, it gets better. I am happy right now. After 3 years at least, even if I'm spending, I know exactly what to do, and which is really really amazing. In these 3 years, I've also got a lot of comments, feedbacks from patients, from patient relatives, from colleagues. They were not so good. Some of them were very good, some of them were not so good. And if you're not somebody that, you know, if you're somebody that doesn't like really know how to, you know, control yourself and everything, some of these things will actually get to you. Some of them are really very very bad. So you don't expect to always meet very good people. Generally, they are very very nice here. They like to be polite, they like to be supportive, they like to help you out. If you go to a new ward, they will be asking you, do you need anything, do you need to go for your break, please go for your break, please take your holiday, and everything is really really amazing. The way they will be coming to tell you, are you okay, are you okay, do you have, even your manager will be asking you, I'm not taking your holiday, I'm going to give you your leave, you're not going for your leave, you know, yeah, I'm not taking any of your leave, I'm going to give you leave. They are very good at that. There are also comments that I've got, like in my first few 6 months of coming, I've got a new nurse just like me that was also very new, that came to me, and we were just talking. I said, oh, where are you from? Where are you from? This person said, oh, I'm from the Philippines, I'm from Nigeria. And she said, oh, you're from Nigeria? I said, yes. She said, why are you here? That stopped me a little bit. I said, why am I here? Oh, well, I like practicing in other countries because it gives me the exposure and I'll get to know how people behave. And I now asked, have you practiced in any other country before? She said, oh, well, no. I said, oh, you should try to practice in Africa. It will really, really give you a very good exposure. So you should try it. I love the fact that I'm in the UK, and maybe someday I'm also going to leave UK. Let me just practice in the UK and see how it is. Practice in other countries and see how it is. The exposure is really very nice. And then we ended the discussion there. Yeah. So you get comments like that. That is so, like, some people need to be worrying, but for me, like, I just handled it that way. I didn't feel anything, and we continued working, and that was it. And she too was like, oh yeah. Yes, I had with a colleague as well, a very senior nurse. Like, that first 6 months, that was really, really very stressful for me. I was so stressed in one of the shifts. So I went to the treatment room. I was mixing my medication and everything. So I just stayed there just to catch my breath. I bent down, just to catch my breath. And my colleague, a new nurse as well, came. So what's going on? I said, oh, I feel so stressed. I just want to catch my breath. Like, I feel so stressed. She said, oh, I also feel so stressed. This work can really, really, really be hard. So we left there, and then she went and talked to our charge nurse, then a senior nurse. Oh, Linda is very, very, very stressed. Please speak to her. So many of us that are new, we are really stressed, and we really need someone to speak to us. Do you know, I was writing my notes in the nurses station with so many people there. This senior nurse came to me and pat me on the back and was like, oh, Linda, I heard you are very, very stressed. Are you very stressed? That's in front of everybody. Which is really, really weird. I didn't even know that they discussed me and everything. Like, I found it very, very surprising and all. I said, well, yes, I'm stressed. She now said, oh, we are going to talk about it. And that was the end of it. She never, ever approached me for anything. I felt so embarrassed. Like, why would a nurse do that? Like, do that to a fellow nurse? I mean, that was my first 6 months. And it all contributed to my saying, oh, damn, I have to really, really, like, have another backup, so that if I cannot continue staying here, then I have another option. But generally, colleagues are really very nice. They are really very sweet. So many of them I will never forget. Some of them helped me to improve my confidence. Some of them spoke to me, encouraged me. I cannot forget so many of them. Each time I need a reference, they reference me. I'm really, really grateful. If you're watching this video, you know yourself. I'm really, really grateful. Like, I've learned a lot from so many of the senior nurses. It's been wonderful. How about the patients? I've also had weird comments from patients. Like, the 3 comments that were really, 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 I don't know whether I'll forget it in my career. It's happened in my earlier stages of working in the UK. I was looking after a male patient, an elderly patient, and he said to me, after giving medications and everything, he said to me, where are you from? I said, oh, I'm from Nigeria. She said, oh, Nigeria, I've been to Nigeria before. Oh, you are so young. You shouldn't be like this work. I don't know why you shouldn't be doing this work at your age. And then he went on to tell me, I have girls just like you, and they are on top of their athletic career. One of them is a sprinter or something like that. And he said, oh, but overall he told me that he has 2 girls, and those 2 girls are in athletics or something like that, and they have won gold medals. And that was after telling me that I'm so young, I should be doing this job. And I was like, oh, okay. And he spent time, he didn't want me to go. He kept saying, oh, and then, you shouldn't be doing this work. And the tone that he was using was like demeaning. Why are you doing this work? This is not like a very good work, stuff like that. I said, oh, okay, no problem. I love this job. I've been doing it for 5 years. I just came to UK like very recently. Let's see how it goes. Thank you. And I left. Another one that I also experienced was a female patient, an elderly patient as well. I looked up, this patient was not talking, was not talking for each time I look after her, she doesn't really say anything. I almost thought she's just that quiet, maybe she's not very ill, she's very frail. So but one day after looking after her It was the beginning of my shift. After looking after her, like cleaning her up and everything, changed her, and she was looking so fresh, she started talking. So I was excited to see what this patient wants to tell me. And you know what she said? She asked me, how long have you done this job? I said, I've done this job for 7 years plus. And she said, so you, for 7 years you have been changing parts. You know, I was stopped a little bit, like, what does that supposed to mean? I said, I am a registered nurse, and changing parts is not what we do. It's not the only thing that we do. We do a lot of amazing job as well to make sure that every patient gets better. And I quickly left her. So I said, oh, thank you, and I left. I didn't allow her to say much because she now scoffed, you know. And this is an elderly patient, frail patient. So I left, and I think it was time for my tea break or something. So I went for my break. And a carer, because sometimes they are some patients have like 24 hours carer, and so there was another patient close to her, and that patient had a 24 hours carer. So that carer happened to come where I was having my break, and she said that patient was really rude to you. I said, no problem. Do you know this is the beginning of the shift? I don't have, like, patients say a lot of nasty things. If you allow it to get to you, that means you're going to have a very bad shift. Please, I'm still starting my shift. I don't even want to listen to some of those things because, so to me, they don't really make any sense. So I left it as that. So some of those comments sometimes, you know, it gets to you, especially if you're new to a particular place, you know. There's this one comment I also got from a patient relative. Like, she visited her mom, and her mom was my patient like for some days already, and she said to her daughter, I like this nurse, she's really nice. And then her daughter said, yes, she might be nice, but she has a very terrible job. I was like, really? I didn't even know how to answer this one. I just left. Her mom just made a comment, and she said, yes, she might be nice, but she has a horrible job. This doesn't have anything to do with my care or anything. She was also happy with the care, but she felt it was not like good for her to compliment me. She was feeling sorry for me that what the job I am doing is a horrible job. So I just left them, you know. So some of those comments, I got them. But I also got amazing comments from people, from managers. Like, I've had manager coming to me saying, I heard what the TVN said, you really did a good job with that wound. That's very good, keep it up. I've heard managers saying, you did well yesterday, I like how you handled the situation, that was very good. I've also had like feedbacks about like maybe a patient that we did not escalate or something like that, maybe, and I had to like write a reflection and maybe make a note of what really happened. Why did we not escalate this patient? Or a patient falling, and then we had to write a note, or what happened, did we have extra, did we have like enough support and everything. I had to. So in these 3 years, it's been like that. I've got very good comments, I've got worrying comments, I've got weird comments, and all of that have really helped to shape my nursing career and everything. As a person, I got better in these 3 years. That since I came from Nigeria, I lost my dad. And losing my dad was 78. And losing my dad, at that point I was pregnant, I couldn't go home. I was in my early pregnancy, so I couldn't go home. But losing my dad also helped me to strengthen my UK journey, because it made me to now you know, losing my dad helped me to it gave me another perspective of looking after my patients, because I work in an elderly ward. So whenever I see any of these patients, I feel like this person is a parent, and I know, even though my dad was getting old, I know how it was like a void in my life like that. Like, he really meant a lot to me. So when I see these people, no matter how they behave, no matter what they say, I always link it to be like they are someone's parents, and whatever happens to them, no matter how old they are, their children are still going to feel very terrible if anything happens to these people. So I always see them like that. Especially, I have been doing it, but especially I lost my dad. It's also really impacted in my patient's care. Like, I look at them differently, I look at their comments differently. It shaped everything about my nursing experience. So overall, it has been like so exciting and everything. I am so grateful for this whole 3 years. I'm so grateful for the friends, for the exposure, for the experience, for the, you know, the stress and everything, because in all of this I am a better nurse. I'm not just a better nurse, but I'm also a better person. I have a better exposure. I love living in London. I love the friends that I am able to keep. I am so grateful for everything. And if you have been with me since the beginning of this reflection, I'm so grateful that you are watching this video. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. In that video, I'm going to be sharing the 3 experiences that has shaped my nursing career, and I also want you to watch that video when it comes out. Thank you so much for being with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.